After the Barack Obama tax returns were released, we actually had a look at what did presidents in the past pay in terms of taxes relative to the highest tax rate at the time. We actually have an image we can put up related to this, and it's really fascinating. If you take a look at this, you can actually see, and maybe I'll even turn around here, Louis, so I can get a better look at it also. The red line is the top tax rate, and the green line is the tax actually paid by the president. So if we look at Barack Obama in 2010, not a big difference between the taxes that President Obama paid versus the actual maximum tax rate that's currently in place.
Right.
Compare that, for example, with George W. Bush, or rather George H.W. Bush in 1991, paying somewhere around a 14% tax rate. That's less than half of the maximum tax rate. The bigger the gap between the green and the red line, the more that the president was underpaying relative to the maximum tax rate. If we look at these numbers, look at Richard Nixon in 1972 paying around 32% tax when the maximum tax rate was around 70%. So what can we deduce from these numbers? As I sidle back up to my desk here, we can deduce a lot of things here, and we can also look at a lot of this is related to loopholes.
Wait,
right?
hold on one second.
Yeah.
I don't understand something. The maximum tax rate is the maximum tax rate that a person who makes the amount of money that that president was making should be taxed?
No, it's just
or
the
maximum amount that the richest person would pay.
That's right. It's the top tax rate at the time.
So obviously the amount that each president pays depends on how much he made.
It does, and presidential salary has increased over time.
Right.
Okay. So then what can we actually look at? Well, we can find a couple things. George Bush, the elder, wins the prize for most charitable giving. He gave away about 62% of his $1.3 million income in 1991. Ronald Reagan paid the highest effective tax rate of 40% in 1981. By 1987, he had a couple of signature tax cuts which went into effect, and he forked over only 25% of his income. Okay, I mean, I think it's interesting to look at, Louis, and see how it compares. Barack Obama actually paying close to the maximum tax rate right now.
Yeah, but like you said, though, the maximum tax rate for what the highest paid American would pay, not the highest tax rate for what the person at their income level would be required to pay.
Right.
So it's not like Nixon was committing a heinous crime or anything.
No, I agree with
Okay.
that.